And welcome on Game Drive here at Djuma Private Game Reserve in the Sabi Sands, South Africa. My name is Brent. I have Liam on camera with me today, and Nix is in final control. For those of you who are new, we are literally live from the African bushveld in South Africa by a few seconds. So you're seeing what I'm seeing literally in real time. So on our way back from morning drive this morning, Scott and I noticed that a herd of wildebeest had wandered onto the property. We haven't seen a big herd of wildebeest on Djuma for a while, so it's quite nice. So when Liam and I got out this afternoon, we decided to come have a look for the wildebeest, and we have found them. Move it a little bit closer. I really enjoy wildebeest. They're prone to very strange behavior. A silly 5 minutes chasing each other around. And you see that that younger one that VM is focused in on, or there's another one coming through now. So those were born probably November, December. Maybe about 5 months, possibly 6 months old. Oh, Vim, see the one that's scratching itself? The second female to the left. I thought I saw something funny on her face. Under their head in the grass. There, she's just lifted her head, walking towards us now. I just saw is that a big tick? Or was that a contusion? No, that's a very big tick by the looks of things. Can't really see too well. I can try to get a photo of it, and I can zoom in a bit closer and then figure out. Oh, maybe you're a bit late there, Chief. Let's see if we can get a photo of that, and we can try to figure out what it is from then. Whether it's a tick or a growth. I think it's a little growth. Having a look on the photo, I'll try to get a better shot of it. Well, she moves behind a stick while I try to get a picture of that. Should be able to figure out from those ones. Yeah, it looks more like a growth than a tick. Let's go forward a little bit, but I'll show you the dominant bull that's with the group at the moment. So those two directly in the center of screen. You can see the larger one will be the dominant male of this group. And depending on the area, wildebeest have different sort of makeups and how they live. So obviously in the Serengeti and Mara, they all migrate together. Oh, there we go. Feeling a bit amorous. It's a bit late. It's unlikely that A female would get pregnant at this time of the year, coming up to the dry season. Generally, the estrous cycles are actually
It goes again.
oh. That is actually probably, let's do the maths on it. So possibly, my wildebeest are attracted to short grasses. They are, the short grasses, they're very selective feeders, not bulk grazers. So they actually pick between the different grass species, choosing their favorites. So do some maths here quickly. So the gestation period is around 250 days, so they would be mating now already. It might be a little bit late, but for the youngsters to be born December, January, November. So what happens is, in this area, the males are quite territorial and will defend a set territory, where the females will move between different males' territories. There he goes. She doesn't seem to be as interested as he is. Now see, the male, as soon as that female started urinating, he's moved across to the female. So what it is, he'll smell the urine, and he will probably, let me just move forward. Oh, he's doing it, we're just in the wrong spot. He's lifting his top lip, and he's taking the scent over an organ called the Jacobson organ. And that is sort of a way that he can ascertain is the female ready for mating, and estrus stuff. They're markers that are in the urine that will enable him to be able to discern certain things about the females. There's a small thing, sort of hole in the top of your palate you can feel. That was our Jacobson organ, but it has become rely a lot more on language and to talk is the main reason certain things like that in human beings have we've evolved to not use them anymore. So we have two species of wildebeest in South Africa. We have this, which is the blue wildebeest, or brindled gnu, and then we have the black wildebeest. The black wildebeest is a high veld species, so they do not actually occur in the low veld, and there's no natural overlap of black and blue wildebeest. If you ever see a picture of black and blue wildebeest together, one of them has definitely been moved into that area. They don't naturally occur together. There we go, just double checking my facts here. The wildebeest sort of rut and mating season in this area, it differs throughout Africa, begins between April and can go as long as up to the first week of June. And that's just specifically for the Lowveld and the Kruger area. And it will vary from in different places, even in South Africa. And the females will mate with multiple bulls, given the opportunity. And sometimes you will see sort of territorial bulls sort of stopping right on the edge of their territory, and sometimes they will fight over the females. So this is probably very early in the rutting season. Well, that's quite an interesting little fact I didn't know about wildebeest. I mean, they are very sensitive to localized rains, but I didn't realize that they've done research on whether it's scent or hearing that causes the wildebeest to move towards the area where it's been raining. And some of the research done suggests that the scent has got very little to do with it. They've been documented listening to thunder and then moving up to 25 kilometers in that direction to where the rain has been. Good afternoon, Deborah from Tennessee. Deborah would like to know, what are the wildebeest related to? They are even-toed ungulates, so they're actually related to quite a few different things, but their closest relations are probably the other antelopes, and more particularly the hartebeest family. afternoon. Donna would like to know whether wildebeest scent mark. Yes, they do. The males will scent mark with use of preorbital glands. I don't know if you can get a close-up on the male. No, he's disappeared a little bit now. But he has got glands just under his eyes that he'll rub against bushes and trees that leave a scent. He's also got pedal glands. Obviously pedal, podiatry, feet, around his feet. And specifically during this time of the year, you'll see a wildebeest bull pawing the ground, and he will actually, while pawing the ground, be using his pedal glands to mark. Yeah, I already mentioned that. Well, it's nice to have them back on the property. We're gonna meander on, see what else we can come across. Good afternoon, Dance Anyway. Dance Anyway would like to know whether these wildebeests would form part of the Great Migration. Dance, they wouldn't. That Great Migration occurs between Tanzania and Kenya, which is over 3,000 kilometers away from where we are now. They will migrate locally, but very short distance in this area, between different areas depending on food availability and rainfall. They are not part of the Great Migration. Good afternoon, Don. Welcome on Drive. Don would like to know how large of an area would a wildebeest bull control. Not a very big area, up to probably 5 to 10 hectares, but it all depends on the area and the quality of the grazing. So where the grazing is good, the territories will tend to be smaller and there'll be bulls next to each other. The territories will tend to be bigger. So an update for those of you who weren't with us this morning on drive. It was a very, very quiet drive. Overcast, cloudy and windy. It's still quite windy and cool, but the sun has come out a bit. So what Liam and I are going to do this afternoon is we're going to check sort of the likely areas to see if we can find any leopard tracks. Also, I think I'm going to go have a look for that herd of elephants we saw briefly right at the end of drive. See if I can find their tracks and figure out where they went. quite a strong wind. Good afternoon, Vinny from Ohio. Vinny's asking that some of the young ones had straight horns. Those ones are about 5-6 months old now. I was asking what age do the horns start to curve? Probably, but not 100% sure, but if I had to hesitate, I guess, just from what I can remember, about 18 months they would start to curve. Maybe a bit before that. We'll double check on that a little bit later though. I'm not driving. So that elephant herd we bumped into very briefly this morning was heading in this general direction, so we're going to look carefully for tracks around here. Very nice light this evening, even though it is a bit windy. Well, the wind has blown a lot of the cloud cover that we had for a lot of the day away. It started to break it up. So what I'm doing now is we saw those elephants probably about 1 kilometer to the south of us, and their general direction was north. So I'm going to go check through the Mulwati drainage line, see if their tracks have crossed. If they haven't, then we'll start heading south in the drainage line. So we're feeding on the edge of the drainage line. I don't see any tracks crossing. They might have just dropped through and crossed the drainage line completely, but we will have a look. So here's where the elephants crossed, and they went north, general direction towards Buffelshoek Dam. So what we'll do is we're going to carry on down here, check if we can find any leopard tracks. If nothing, we'll loop back towards Buffelshoek. Maybe they're heading in that direction for a drink. Good afternoon, Eric from Sweden. Eric would like to know what the status of Jigger is. Our last update is we're hoping it's going to be up and running by Wednesday afternoon. We're waiting for spare parts to arrive. That is our big problem at the moment. bush almost has this feeling like it's been such a busy Easter weekend. Everyone's now just sort of recovering. It's quiet, not much around. But I'm sure they're there, we just gotta find them. Not even Impala and Nyala out this afternoon. With a strong wind as well, there are not going to be that many birds out. Well, they'll be out, but they'll be a little bit more difficult to see. And right next to us on the right is one of my favorite little creatures. It's a little dwarf mongoose. Sounds like it's another mongoose in the road. You can hear them calling all around us. They're running this way. They're actually running towards us. You know the tree just to the right of where that mongoose was? There's some birds in there. Yeah? What tree? That little bush to the right of where the mongoose was sitting. It's quite a nice little bird in there. See if we can get it. There we go. There's two of them there. You can hear them calling. Now I wonder if anyone knows what they are. Could be it's not often that they sit nicely like that for long enough for us to see them, but I'll let you guys have a go at it. You can send your answers to questions at WildEarthTV or just use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. There's a leopard. Looking at birds, and we find a leopard. I heard the francolin alarming, and this leopard's just wandered into us. Who is this? It looks like Quarantine. I was actually thinking I haven't seen Quarantine for a while. Isn't that amazing, guys? Pays to look at the little things, because sometimes the big things come to you. And this is the second time on this road that he's done that. The last time I was looking at a leaf, and he decided to walk up to me while I was standing out of the car. You can hear the mongoose are very unhappy. Is he walking down the road? Can I turn around? Yep, turn around. Stations are located Madoda Ingwe Animals Mobile south on Drakensberger towards junction with Bateleur. Yep, you just heard a kudu alarm bark. This does look like Quarantine. Where'd he go? You see him? Oh, he's still in the road. And I possibly think this could be the same. We had those male leopard tracks on the boundary that went in, and I had some the other day when we were looking for that mating pair. So I think he has been hanging around in this area. Oh, look at that lovely light on him. Looks quite hungry. And he's been spotted by those kudu already. He's definitely got his walking shoes on today. He's moving quite quickly. Obviously, I rubbed the right amount of buttered popcorn behind my ears before drive this afternoon. Get it wrong some days. There's a baby kudu right there that he hasn't seen, that's seen him. The young kudu right there, that's definitely within his size grasp. But he didn't see it. He walked past. There's probably 20 meters between them. You're a very lucky little kudu. When I get the opportunity, I will try to jump up in front of him. Confirm, did anyone copy my update? Drakensberger, Batzler Junction. Copy, thanks, no problem. And looks like we're quite lucky. Most people are far, far, far away. So we've got them all to ourselves. I was actually just thinking to myself today, we've been seeing a lot of Djuma, but we haven't seen quarantine for a while. Good evening, Louise. I'm asking her questions from the Twitter sphere. Louise would like to know why he's called Quarantine. When he was he still is a young man. When he was younger, he spent a lot of time around the quarantine clearings near Djuma Lodge, and that's where he got his name from. Oh, look out at wonderful golden afternoon light. So he's decided enough walking down the road for now. He's probably going to stand up on that log, and no, he's not today. Stop and have a look around. You might do it on the next one, which is a bit bigger. Or not, it looks like he's on a serious mission this afternoon. Oops, still on a thorn. Forward a bit, there we go. Looked like he got it out. And off he continues. Of course, being quarantined, the last time I found him in this area, he took us through a very thick patch of bush, and it looks like he's aiming to do the same to us again this afternoon. Oh, Vim, I hope you're ready. This is going to be one of those fun blocks. We're not even going to get it in on the start. You just keep an eye on him for me, Vim, while I try and maneuver our way through. Still got it? Oh yeah, I got him. I've got him. Go ahead. He's just off to the right here. I'm just trying to find a... Go ahead. Copy, no problem. Let me know when you get a bit closer. He's moved into the block between Battalier and Mamba to the west of Drakensberger. I'm still with him and only stationed here, so you're more than welcome to join. He's off to our right, still moving. I'm just... change direction. Are we behind us there? Stop. Caught ourselves a whiteberry bush there. He's sitting down for a bit. Say when? Bit forward? Yeah. You can go for it now while you're stationary. Oh, sorry, wrong radio. You can go for it now while you're stationary. Correct. Oh boy. Do you see what's to the left of us here, Vim?
Yeah.
Some interesting donga systems. A donga, for those of you who don't know, is a drainage line or an erosion system, and sometimes can be quite difficult for us to cross. And he is looking that way. Well done to Judy, RC, and Joanne, who got that bird correct, the bird that we were looking at when Mr. Quarantine decided to stumble upon us rather than us stumble upon him. So it was Judy, RC, and Joanne, and the bird was a long-billed crombeck. A long-billed crombeck. Watch out for the buffalo thorn there, yeah. So he just saw something. I just saw movement of something that looked like an antelope just in front of him there. So I didn't see exactly what it was. I just saw him speed up and stop, and then I saw something moving through the bushes ahead. I'm not sure what it is. So we're just going to stand by here and watch for a little bit longer. Judging from what I saw, I think whatever he saw him, because it started running when he started moving a bit faster, which probably means we didn't hear any alarm calling. So, and also from the size of the movement I saw, it was probably a duiker or a steenbok. And his whole body language has changed now, so he's not really interested. He sort of knows he got spotted. No, I'm just gonna, and he's moving on again, walking normally. Just hope we are able to stay with him through here. It is already getting a little bit tricky, and if he goes off to our left, it's going to be almost impossible for us to follow him. So I'm hoping he keeps. There he is. Coming to the right. You're still watching that area where that Dyko or Stenbok ran into. So he's using a large animal path that's running along the edge of the drainage. Unfortunately, it's a bit narrow for us, so we've got to start pick our way between the trees. Probably about 20 meters to the right of him. Oh no, don't go that way, please. Stopping, listening, looking. Definitely on the hunt. That is not a very good direction for us that he's heading. Actually, it's not so bad. We're almost at Mamba Road. I just see through the gap there now. Oh, the question is, how do we get back onto the road? He's going to walk right in front of us now and probably onto the road. That's not a good bet, my friend. So he decided to cross the road straight away. I was hoping he was going to walk down the road for a while, because he's following the edge of this drainage line, and that makes it very difficult for us to follow him. Update stations. This Ingwe has crossed south over Mamba Road at that little drainage on the eastern edge of Mamba. You got him, Djuma? I've lost him.
Don't have a vehicle.
Copy. Where'd he go? Ah, I got him. He's going to start moving again. He's just in the thickets to the left of us. Please don't go that way. That's a good boy. Good afternoon, Pat from Ontario. Pat would like to know, when we drive over the trees, do they bounce up again? Yes, Pat, that's why we drive over the middle of them. We straddle them, so we don't actually use the tires to push them down and whatnot, and they do generally bounce up behind us. We also choose the species of trees we drive over quite carefully. We'll only drive over fast-growing trees. We won't drive over any slow-growing or rare trees. So it helps to know your trees as well, to know which ones you should and shouldn't go over. That's affirmative. When you get to that little dip, you'll get my vehicle audio to the south. I'm actually on the western side of that little drainage. Affirm. Mamba Road, on the eastern half of Mamba Road where that small drainage line crosses, is now to the south of the road and to the west of that small drainage. But we're probably about 90 meters from the Ndlela now, but his general direction is south into the Mokuluhlatin. Copy. So I can hear the in front of him. So he's been spotted by some more dwarf mongoose. Watch out there, them. It's a buffalo thorn. You should see my trucks where they came off the road just after that dip. So we've seen a lot of the leopards do that. They stop on a branch and they stand on with their front legs on the branch just to give them a little bit of elevation. Listening carefully to what's ahead, looking. can see a bit of that landing strip of spots some quarantines back that are quite distinctive. No, don't go that way. Especially with these autumn colors, it's amazing how well its camouflage fits in. There we go, there he is. Greg coming. I think somebody managed to get a further west of me. And copy, just stand by, give you a rep. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie, dear. He has done a sneaky. Go ahead. It's quarantine, my daughter. He's just crossed a little shkova. I'm gonna try find a way through, but I can't cross where he's crossed. Copy. Might be able to sneak away through here. Fingers crossed. What is that? Okay. I think we're going to be able to do it. I just lost visual. You went into this drainage line. I think I've got a way through, but I'm not sure whether the cruiser might be a bit long to go through here. I'll give you an update. Where's my jacket? Buffalo thorn. Okay, we made it through. This is where he came up, exactly where he came up. So now the trick is to try find him again. I'm hoping he carried on this in this general southerly direction and didn't veer course too much, because if he did, it is really going to be incredibly difficult to find him again. There was a path in the general direction he was following, so I'm just going to look on that. Unfortunately, if he did go west, there's sort of 5 or 6 of those, like those little drainage lines that we just crossed, and it'll be near impossible for us to get in there. Actually, this exact spot, I followed his mom through here not that long ago. Okay, I don't know if he got this far. I'm gonna head back to where he was. Stations, I've lost visual. General direction was south though, towards Leadwood. I'm gonna keep checking in the block. Come on, VM. Spot me a leopard. Thought I heard something, but copy, thanks. Okay, he came right up there. Now the question is, did he continue down the drainage line or did he continue south? Just gonna hop off and see if I can see some tracks quickly from where he went up, so I can just try to get a general direction. no luck. Very difficult to see trucks here. I think our best option is to try head towards the next road. We're probably equidistant from all roads where we are at the moment. So his general direction has been south and west. So I think our best bet is to head that direction, try get on that road, and then just slowly move down and see if we pick up tracks or hear something alarm calling. Been off my vehicle for 5. Updates, please. Yeah, I'm just going to head towards Leadwood from last position in the southerly direction. Maybe we bump into him again. It's a bit more open this side. It's a very, very difficult area to work in. So, I mean, there's a lot of these small drainage lines. We're going to try to find our way through the next one now. I actually have followed Karula through this area before. I think it's going to be easier to go through here. Oh, there's a big wolf spider. Whoopsie. Here we go. Whoop. There's a Franklin making a noise, but it doesn't sound like too serious about. What I'm doing now is I'm looking for a game path or a relatively open patch to try and get back to the road. Voila! Success. We have finally managed to get out of this terrible thicket. And now we're going to check this road because it's possible you might have jumped up ahead of us.
Don't drive that way.
Yeah, I know. They're waiting there to see if he popped out. No way. Okay, so his general direction was in this direction. So we're just going to go very slowly and hope he pops out. What we might do for a little bit is when we get a bit lower down here, we might just stand by, switch off the car, and listen for a little bit. So if I had to guess, if he carried on the exact same line he was walking when he crossed that drainage, somewhere in this next 100 meters is where I think he'd pop out. A bird, this particular alarm calling, it's not often that they're actually alarm calling at leopards, but the fact that we know that there is a leopard in the area, it's worth having a look. Just going to have a quick look in the bush here.